So this guy's just out here all by himself in this little tent, just kind of checking out this area.
Our enemies will fall.
Greetings, Paladin. Take a look toward that shore. What do you see? That's right. Our beach, our tranquil shore, has been infested with the malignancy known as the Murloc. This blight will not stand. I have a task for you. If you feel that you're up to it, I would have their heads. Let us see if we can put a dent in their numbers, so large that if they have any sense at all, they will return to the murky depths from which they sprang.
Salama Ashalanore.
Ah, Murlocs in the starter zone. This became so well known. This became such a meme. The amount of times that people would talk about how, you know, they would create a character, and one of the first things that they died to was a Murloc. Or Murlocs, because, well, as you can see, there's quite a few of them around here, all bunched up together. So you usually would not be just fighting one Murloc one-on-one, you'd be fighting one, and then all of a sudden 2 or 3 more would show up and be like, get him, gank up on him. And that was usually the experience for a lot of players back in the day. And as someone who did mess around with WoW Classic, I can tell you that, yeah... usually it was a good idea to go with someone else if you were going to be doing quests that involved going to this area filled with Murlocs, because look at how many of the things are here. You would get overwhelmed very, very quickly because, well, you know, your character was basically made of tissue paper back in vanilla. Not to mention, if you were playing a class that relied on casts, you were basically constantly getting interrupted and not being able to cast anything.
I don't have a target. I'm out of range.
I mean, look at how many are in this zone. Oh, and on top of that, they do poison damage.
I need a target.
Hello? What is this? Interesting. What have you found? What you have found here is a waterproofed leather tube containing a number of sheets of parchment by the markings upon them. The pages are clearly navigation rudders, and each bears the signature of one Captain Calasandra. You've heard of a small defended camp just east of the nearby Sunsail anchorage. Maybe the captain is there? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the captain we already met just right over there, so... I'm sure she's going to be very interested in finding these. Death to the Murlocs! And death to the living... Oh, wait. You know, I think I've actually never gotten the achievement for that, because, I mean, I've seen the cutscene for the Wrathgate, but I don't think I ever actually finished questing in Dragonblight to actually get that in the game. Because I know there's an achievement that you can get when you actually finish questing in Dragonblight and do the Wrathgate event, or rather, watch the Wrathgate event. And I don't think I've ever gotten it. And I actually should do that at some point. I mean, I kind of have to because, well, if I ever want to get that red drake that that they, you know, let you be able to get when you get exalted with the red dragonflight in Dragonblight, well, I'm gonna need to do that. Especially if I ever also want the achievement for the Awaken the Drakes achievement, where you can also get the Green Emerald Drake added to your collection. Of course, that would also mean I need to go back to Shadow Moon in BC and try to get the purple Netherwing Drake, which I haven't gotten either.
I don't have a target.
Nope. Still need one more.
I need to get closer.
Alright, now we can head back. Alright, I'm guessing either this is going to be the only quest for this guy, or he's going to now be like, excellent, now that you've killed many of those Murlocs, find their leader and destroy them. That's just my guess.
Baladash, Malanore.
A job well done. By the smell of it, I'd say you returned all that I asked for, and possibly more. I'm sure that we can find some use for these in a stew or some such. Alas, it does not appear that your efforts have done the trick. The Murlocs are not in retreat. This calls for more direct action. The Grimscale Murlocs have not been scared off by your efforts, but I think I know what will send them packing, as well as get me some personal retribution. They have a Murloc chieftain, called it, that calls itself Murgle. It wanders the Golden Strand south of the river inlet. The beast once slew a compatriot of mine, and now wears his ring in open defiance and mockery. Slay Murgle and bring back my friend's ring, and then we shall see these monsters cowed.
Farewell.
All the way down here. You know what? Let's go ahead and turn this in first, and then we'll go take out What? That's how you pronounce his name, right? You know what I find hilarious? Is that we actually have seen Murlocs that actually can speak Basic. I call it Basic and not English because, as Star Wars: The Old Republic established, if Hutts can just talk to us, outside of Huttese, they just refer to it as Basic because apparently that's the universal name given to English in that setting. They don't call it English; they just call it Basic. It's like, it's just the basic language everyone in the galaxy speaks. Okay, sure.
Shola.
Well, hello, Paladin. You're a sight for sore eyes. I know it's crazy for me to be here, but with the anchorage overrun by the wretched, Valendris and his ravagers have sworn to protect me on the condition that I get out of here as soon as I've recovered my cargo. What's that you have there? That looks vaguely familiar. Oh, you sweet, sweet Paladin. I had no idea that those disgusting Grimscale Murlocs had also pirated away with my navigation rudders. Without them, I would have had no chance of navigating the seas again once we retake the anchorage and repair the ship. Thank you very, very much. Here, take this coin as a sign of my appreciation.
Be ready for anything.
I like how appreciative she genuinely sounds. She really does sound incredibly thankful and appreciative for what we've done to help her out. To think that, before we head to the Ghostlands and deal with the Scourge in that area, we gotta deal with the Murlocs. Because, well, priorities. We cannot let the Murlocs continue to be in their own way here in Eversong. That just is unacceptable. But I always found it funny that in many of the starting zones, that one of your first quests was, we need you to go deal with the Murlocs. I suspect that another player has been here recently. That's just my suspicion at the moment. I wonder if he could actually be patrolling this beach. Or if it's just simply a matter of waiting for him to respawn. It wanders the Golden Strand south of the river. It wanders the Golden Strand. I wonder if that means he's actually literally, you know, wandering around, like patrolling, as opposed to just standing in one spot waiting for me to find him. I guess we'll have to kind of go down the coast here and see if we can catch him just kind of patrolling the area as opposed to waiting for him to respawn. Nope, never mind, there he is.
I'm out of range.
All right. Feared. I think those Murlocs were being feared. By what? By the Dragonhawk? I'm guessing that there are other players about. Yes, we're driving a motorcycle through the river. What? What of it? Aha! Of course, a priest! It all makes sense now.
Victory lies ahead.
At last, though the Grimscale did not rout as hoped, it was entertaining to watch them panic in confusion when you laid low their so-called chieftain. You have my thanks and the gratitude of the Sindorai of Silvermoon City. Yeah. Please take one of these in thanks for the service that you have rendered.
Remember the Sunwell.
17. Alright, I think that's it. It's time to head to the Ghostlands. Let's go ahead and speed this up, actually. And then we'll just use the Flight Master over here to go to Fairbreeze. Actually, while I'm here, let me go ahead and clear up my inventory.
Glory to the Sindorai.
It's getting a little full. Destroy that. Oops.
Shorel Aran.
Go and repair my stuff while I can.
Anaria Shola.
I didn't think I was actually going to need to repair anything, but I guess so. I mean, there is an add-on I have that just automatically repairs anything, you know, my gear, whenever I approach a vendor that is capable of repairing stuff, so. This is something that's always been hilarious about the Flight Masters. They, rather than just going straight from one to the other, they go like in a swirl, like taking turns and such, until they finally get you to your location. And you're just like, come on, just fly me straight there. This is why I've actually recently started to adapt that if I need to fly, like, let's say, for example, from up here down here for some reason, or whatever, instead of doing the Flight Master, unless I actually need to do something while being AFK, I'll just simply, use the key that I have that has auto run bound, like this. I'm not holding forward, I'm just having it auto run, and I'll just kind of like auto fly over to the area on my own, just because I can fly in a straight line and get there faster, basically. Yeah, for those who thought, oh, this, when the Scourge left after they revived Kel'Thuzad, there was just, there was nothing left, right? No. No, as you can see, and, numerous remaining forces of the Scourge still remain. But what's hilarious is that this is only a small, tiny fraction of it. This is a minuscule portion of their real forces. Man, the amount of abandoned meat wagons here.
Yes.
Courier. Help me, stranger. I must reach Tranquillin. I cannot fail. He falls back into unconsciousness as his eyes go blank. Notice there's an apothecary here. So I mentioned the Dark Spear earlier. This is another encounter right here that is going to pretty much help lead the Blood Elves into joining the Horde. This encounter with an apothecary. I'll talk more about this when we actually do our undead in the Forsaken starting zone.
Time is of the essence.
Yeah.
What do you require?
What are you standing around for? Can't you see this boy needs immediate attention? By the looks of it, the plague is beginning to take over his body. Within minutes, not even a master apothecary like me would be able to save him. The animals south of the river all carry the plague in their blood. Go across the bridge and hunt the plague beasts there. Bring me enough plagued blood samples and I will distill a serum capable of saving this blood elf. Hurry!
Aye.
So yeah, this apothecary is about to try and save this blood elf's life. Can you see what I mean about how these encounters here basically help make it easy for them to go, the Horde doesn't seem that bad. I wonder if this would count.
It's too far away.
Nope. Just a wing, but no blood.
I need to get closer.
There's the blood. Alright. Some starving ghost claws.
It's too far away.
Heck, by the time we get done with this zone, I'll probably be 20 and be able to show you off a couple of the mounts. And yes, I do have both of Kael'thas's mounts. And they both took me a long time to get. I started joking with some of my Wow, friends. I think Kael'thas hates me. Which is hilarious because he's actually one of my favorite characters from Warcraft 3. I really liked Kael'thas. And then they... Well, they did what they did with him, basically because... Well... you guys probably... Well, believe it or not, there's probably a lot of you that don't even know about the fiasco that happened behind the scenes when it came to writing Burning Crusade. That they basically wrote everything wrong because they had no knowledge of what they were writing about. And then when the top writers, who had been working on the stuff on Courage, then were able to join them and see what they had done and help them out, they looked at it and they went, "What have you done?" And they're like, "Well, what are you talking about?" It's like, why'd you write Illidan as if he's killed Jaden? Well, he's the Demon Lord of the Burning Legion, right? No, he's not. That's what happened with Burning Crusade, in case you didn't know. The writers were split into two teams. The good writing team, led by Metzen and the other really notable writers, they were working on the stuff on Courage. And they needed to start working on Burning Crusade. So they had the other group of writers who had never played the games before and didn't know what they were writing about start writing Burning Crusade. And they thought Illidan was Kil'jaeden. So all that stuff in some of the quest dialogue when it comes to referring to, you know... if you replace Illidan with Kil'jaeden in some of that quest text, it makes a whole lot more sense. Because otherwise, it's just kind of like, huh? It's like, why would Illidan be leading Legion forces? That makes no sense at all. And to try and somehow fix this, they ended up writing it where Kael'thas basically joined Kil'jaeden to betray Illidan. Yeah.
And you are...
So you can basically blame what happened to Kael'thas on those writers because they wrote Illidan wrong, and so to try and somehow salvage what had been wrong, they had to ruin Kael'thas' character because Illidan's character had been ruined. Yeah. Well, did you bring me what I need? Hurry, or the pretty blood elf boy is a goner. Oh, just in time. I was ready to start digging a hole for our friend here. My potion seems to be working. He's coming too. Hey, I think he's trying to get your attention. Why don't you talk to him?
Face the shadow.
Victory lies ahead.
I'm too weak to continue. Where am I?
You're not going anywhere just yet, handsome. Not until you regain your strength.
I like how she's basically flirting with him. She keeps calling him pretty blood elf boy, handsome. It's kind of adorable. I carry the dire warning from Regent Lord Theron in the form of a letter. You'll have to deliver it for me. Take it to Arcanist Vandril in Tranquillin. You'll find the towns further to the south along this road. Go there and find Vandril. And we're going to get another bag.
We will have justice.
So just to reiterate this, obviously this interaction here of this apothecary going out of her way to try and save his life, the life of a blood elf, that's going to reach the ears of some of the other blood elf higher-ups. This simple interaction is going to basically be the thing that catapults these blood elves, not the blood elves that work for Kael'thas, but these blood elves that are basically trying to survive here under Lorthamar to joining the Horde.
State your business.
You have the letter? Oh, finally! We've waited for a response from the Regent Lord for weeks. Let me see it here. What's this? A dark presence? He senses a dark presence in the Ghostlands? No kidding! I could have told him that. Oh, this is what we've been waiting for? Arcanist Vandril, what are the Forsaken doing here? Notice that there are some Forsaken forces here. But the situation is more grim than many have been led to believe. The Forsaken are here as allies in the fight against our common enemy, the Scourge. Trust me when I say this, without them, the Ghostlands would be lost, and the Scourge would already have overrun all of Eversong Woods. But more than anything else, we need your help in reclaiming our once proud lands.
The reckoning is at hand.
I know that it seems strange, but these Forsaken are here to help. You should speak with their leader, High Executor Mavrin. He's in the tower on the west side of town. And Paladin, when you're done talking with him, return to me. I have something dire that needs to be dealt with immediately.
Remember the Sunwell.
Let me grab this Flight Master right over here. So yeah, you'll see a mixture of Blood Elf and Forsaken forces here. Ratha's Tomb are here with trade supplies.
I have exactly what you need.
Quartermaster Lymel.
Embrace the shadow.
There we go.
I haven't got all day. Our time will come.
Huh. Yeah, there's basically like both the Blood Elves in this zone along with the Forsaken here are working together. Otherwise, they probably would have been overrun by what's here. Because remember, this is what's here. Oh, and this as well. But that's for later.
Speak quickly.
I know that we Forsaken appear monstrous to your eyes, but I assure you that we mean your people no harm. We are here because of a common enemy. Darkon, the traitor. He has returned, and now commands the Scourge that are invading this land from his steadfast Deathholm to the south. Our leader, Lady Sylvanas Windrunner, originally hails from these lands, and in fact used to be an elf. She has a history with Darkon, and wants him dead as much as your people do. We will defeat him together, Paladin. Yeah, Darkon. We'll get to him later. Now, my friend, if you would be so kind as to return to Arcanist Vandril, I know that he is very anxious to send you out on your first mission here in the Ghostlands. We're counting on you. Don't let us down.
Our time will come.
And this is also now where, once we have crossed from Eversong into Ghostlands, we then get this. Story progress. So this lets you know whether or not you have been doing the main storyline of this land, this area here, this zone. So you can see there's 3 major chapters to the Ghostlands: Citizens of Tranquillin, Farstrider Enclave, and Darkon Drathir. Yeah, we'll talk about Darkon later.
Yes.
Paladin, I can't just sit here waiting for an audience with the High Executor of Dame Oriferous. This cannot wait. We were dealing with the Shadowpine trolls of Zebzora to the northeast across Lake Elrindar, but the lieutenant mishandled the attack and we lost a lot of Farstriders, and then he just fell to pieces afterward. Ranger Valana sent me here, and Ranger Salissa to the Farstrider Enclave for help. Please find them. Valana was badly injured, and the lieutenant's useless.
Time is of the essence.
Vandril. Look at the Warlock using the old school mount that you got at like level 40.
The dark times will pass.
Oh, good. There you are. And just in time. There is much to be done. We're surrounded here, Paladin. The outlying villages have all been overrun by the Scourge. You must head northeast to Suncrown Village immediately and deal with the Nerubian Scourge menace. You can't miss them. They're spider-like creatures. There's no time to waste. Quathalas must be reclaimed.
Farewell.
Alright. Let's see, I think... Let me check if there's an innkeeper right over here. Because I think it's time for us to change our Hearthstone location. Yep, there's one right here. Since obviously now we're going to be questing in Ghostlands compared to
Do not loiter.
Eversong.
Shorel Aran.
Alright. Huh. For a moment I thought like he had a bit of a Forsaken look about him there, so... Anyways, this is also something I should point out. The command board. So, when you are leveling, and you're perhaps finishing with the zone and you don't know where else to go, you can go to one of these command boards, whether on whatever faction you're on, and you can be able to get one of these where it's like, hey, go to this zone and do this. So, like, in this case, if I was going to stick around, questing in this continent and such, I would probably pick up Silverpine, because Silverpine is not that far from here, and it kind of, like, goes into basically, both the Forsaken and the Blood Elves can be able to quest in those areas, so. Alright, we will continue our questing in the Ghostlands when we return. Stay tuned.